Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be reacting to a video called Top 25 Places to Visit in the Nordics. The Nordics meaning like Scandinavia, I'm pretty sure, like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, and I know I'm missing one, Sweden. Yeah, I think, obviously the most, like, at the top of my head, like the most well, not important, but I think the most like touristic place that I can think of is like any place, especially like in that area of the world. It's the Northern Lights. It's the one where my brain automatically goes, and where I think, like, if you go to some like Scandinavian country, the first thing that I'm asking is like, hey, did you want to see the Northern Lights? But I don't know, like, can they be seen like from like different regions, or it's just like Sweden? I don't know. Maybe we're gonna find out. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan, and I spent the last few summers exploring Europe's Nordic countries, and I want to show you my favorite places.
That part looks a little bit like Scotland and Ireland.
So here's my Nordics top 25.
Oh, the fjords as well. I forgot about the fjords.
The Nordics have to be one of my all-time favorite regions. It's made up of...
That looked like straight up like a fantasy film.
Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and Iceland. They offer some of the world's most unique landscapes.
I forgot about Iceland.
From the fjords of Norway to the dramatic sea cliffs of the Faroe Islands, the Nordic...
Those like Faroe Islands, apparently, they look a lot like Ireland.
Have so much to offer. Let's start this video off in Lofoten. Now, Lofoten Islands are located in northern Norway, and even though it's in the Arctic Circle, you feel like you're on a tropical island there. I was lucky enough to go there about 2 summers.
The water is incredibly like blue turquoise that it reminds me of of the Caribbean or something.
And I had an incredible journey road tripping through Lofoten. Our first pit stop was at this fishing village called Henningsvær to see the world's most scenic football field. When we got there, we sadly didn't have a soccer ball, but we had a good time playing on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if I would play football there, but it's really interesting.
And enjoying the incredible views of Henningsvær. We kept on driving and made it to the iconic town of Rain. Now, when you think of Norway, this is it. It has those red houses surrounded by massive sea mountains. In my opinion, I'd have to say that Rain is the most beautiful town in Lofoten. When I was planning my road trip to Norway, I remember seeing pictures of this place and I just couldn't believe it existed. The Lofoten Islands look amazing during the summertime, and they look just as magical during the winter.
Oh my god, I think it's gorgeous like when there's no snow, but I think when it's snow, it looks magical.
Now the snow-covered peaks contrasted with the ocean create a wonderful kind of scenery. Now,
I wonder if the ocean gets frozen.
It's still cold there. Thanks to the ocean's Gulf Stream, Lofoten has a much more mild climate compared to other places in the world with the same latitude. If you do go to Lofoten, I just recommend you make a road trip across all the islands. On the drive, you'll experience some of the most incredible landscapes, such as the pointy peak near Ramberg or the small fishing village of Hamnøy. I mean, every turn is going to take your breath away. After exploring the Lofoten Islands, we're going to visit the nearby Stettin Mountain. Now, special thanks
that weird peak, like, it's really like worth the view.
To my friend Simon Brack for providing his footage. He has some of the best van vlogs of him and his girlfriend road tripping across Norway. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. Stettin is the
What's that a 10? Can you like stay there?
National mountain of Norway with an elevation of 1,392 meters. It's just unbelievable how pointed and jagged it is. I've never seen anything like it before. Now, while we're still in northern...
Can you climb over there?
Norway, we're going to head up to the island of Senja. Senja is Norway's second largest island. To get there, I flew into Tromsø, Norway, and then rented a car and made the 3-hour drive there. The reason I wanted to go to Senja was because I wanted to hike to Segla. I drove to this town called Fjordard, and I got to the base of the hike. It was a surprisingly difficult hike, but eventually I made it to the top and I was just baffled.
It's funny that it's like surprisingly difficult. The jagged peak looks hard, so I wouldn't think it's easy.
By the view. The rock formation rose hundreds of meters out of the ocean. It was just like nothing I've ever seen before. Now, I was just having an amazing time, and I decided I wanted to spend the night on top of the mountain so I could see the northern lights. All I had was a blanket, and I used my camera bag as a pillar, so
This is crazy because it's like, please, like, you're not prepared. Please grab like a sleeping bag and a tent.
I found this little mossy cliff ledge and I set up camp there and waited for the northern lights to show up. Around 11 p.m. I woke up to the aurora borealis above my head. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They move surprisingly fast, like snakes in the Arctic sky.
Oh my
And seeing those
God.
lights made me feel like a kid again, and it will forever be one of the most special nights of my life.
I would
Some
cry.
nights you don't need to fall asleep to start dreaming. After experiencing northern Norway, we're going to head over to Iceland to witness the land of fire and ice. I have to say that Iceland is home
Why is it fire? They have volcanoes? Yes, right?
to some of the world's most unique landscapes. From volcanic craters to a blue lagoon, the country just has so much to offer. I went to Iceland a few years ago and I was just blown away by the country. One of my favorite places was Reynifjara Beach. It's this black sand beach that's
weird.
about a 2-hour drive from Reykjavik. What I really loved about the beach is the basalt sea stacks in the ocean. It makes you wonder how the Vikings must have felt when they washed up on the Icelandic shores. After
I would be scared. It looks like quite a scary place. Not just like, not the area, but just like visually, it looks a little somber.
Reynifjara, you can check out Skogafoss waterfall. It's one of the most impressive waterfalls in Iceland with a
Looks
drop
beautiful.
of over 60 meters. You can also drive an
Wow.
hour east on the Ring Road and visit one of the most scenic canyons in Iceland. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but it looks like something straight out of a fantasy movie. Don't
Yeah.
be surprised if you see a troll walking around there. If you drive another 3 hours down the Ring Road, you'll reach Stoksnes. It's such a dramatic view with the black sand and the
It's so crazy, like, I'm not seeing houses, but I'm like, I wouldn't want to live there. Imagine this view, like, every morning when you get up.
mountain in the background. On the other side of Iceland, you can visit Kirkjufellsfoss.
That one looks like a hat.
It's this uniquely shaped mountain that looks like Gandalf's hat. There's a waterfall nearby and it makes for an incredible shot. If you go in the wintertime, you might just get lucky and see the aurora borealis.
Oh
There's
my
just so
God.
much to see in Iceland, and I hope everyone can see it at least once in their life. After
Hopefully.
exploring Iceland, we're going to head over to the Faroe Islands, located right between Norway and Iceland in the Atlantic Ocean. The archipelago
It's kind of like they're in the middle of nowhere.
is made up of 18 volcanic islands. Now, special
18.
thanks to my friend Ellis Van Jason for providing me this footage. He's one of the best FPV pilots in the world. I'll link his Faroe Islands video in the description.
This
It's gonna
little
blow your
crevice.
mind. Now, I have to say that the
Crazy.
Faroes are home to some of the world's most dramatic landscapes, from the sheer sea cliffs to waterfalls straight into the ocean. The Faroes have so much
Oh my god, I love that the waterfall goes into the ocean!
to offer. One of the most scenic places in the Faroe Islands is the Mulafusur waterfall that's located on Vagar Island, and the water falls over 100 feet down to the ocean below.
I'm thinking something crazy. Can you like get on top? Can you swim and there, and you know, you're like swimming down there and like the waterfall falls on top of you? Maybe not. Maybe it's really cool.
One of my personal favorite places is the island of Kalsoy. It has an incredible lighthouse that overlooks some of the biggest sea cliffs I've ever seen. After the Faroes,
These cliffs
we're
are
gonna
giving
head
me
over to
vertigo.
Denmark to visit Copenhagen. Now, Copenhagen started as a Viking fishing village in the 10th century and became the economic center
So
of
old.
Scandinavia during the Renaissance. Today, Copenhagen is the cultural, economic, and governmental center of Denmark. One of the most recognizable places in Copenhagen is the Nyhavn Canal. It's a 17th century canal that is lined with beautifully colored houses and historical wooden ships. It's just a great place to walk around and enjoy some
It's such a particular architecture.
Danish restaurants and cafes. Another impressive spot in the city is the
What is that?
Copenhagen Opera
Oh.
House. It's one of the most modern and expensive opera houses
Looks
ever
so
built,
weird.
with an estimated cost of $500 million. After
Oh my God.
Copenhagen, we're going to head over to the nearby Malmo. Now, located on Sweden's southern coast, Malmo is the country's third largest city. The 8-kilometer Orsisund Bridge connects
the ocean.
Malmo to Copenhagen. One of the coolest features of the city is the turning torso skyscraper. It's a 190-meter tall tower that was built in 2005. It's the tallest building in Scandinavia, and it's claimed to be the
Oh.
world's first twisted skyscraper. And it's just such a unique feature that adds to the beauty of Malmo.
Looks
Right
weird.
next to the
I think it's kind of crazy that it's like the only skyscraper like in the whole city.
Turning Torso
At least
is one
there.
of Europe's biggest skate parks. Malmo is such
Oh.
a charming city that you gotta check out. After Malmo,
I didn't know they were like so into skating over there.
we're gonna head over to Sweden's capital of Stockholm. I was able to visit Stockholm last summer and I was just pleasantly surprised. It's made up of 14 islands
That's fun.
and 50 bridges. Compared to other Nordic countries such as Norway and Iceland, I felt Sweden was much more affordable. I had a good time walking around the city and using their public transportation. I swear,
Like, how expensive are the others that you think this is cheap?
I rode on the world's biggest escalator. I just love the buildings and architecture there. It reminded me a lot of Copenhagen with its colorful buildings and canals full of wooden ships. I mean, just such a wonderful city, and I think everyone should give it a visit. If you want to visit some of Sweden's nature, I'd highly recommend driving to the northern part of the country. I did a road trip there a few summers ago, and it was just beautiful driving through endless pine trees and quaint Swedish landscapes. A beautiful place to visit in northern Sweden is Ristafallet. It's one of Sweden's most powerful waterfalls. It's a 14-meter drop and over 50 meters wide, making it a stunning amphitheater shape. Right, just such a magical spot. Now, after exploring Sweden, we're going to head over to neighboring Finland. Now, for the past 3 years, Finland has been ranked the happiest country in the world, thanks to its wonderful healthcare, education, and obviously its beautiful scenery. On the same note, the capital,
I think happiness is very personal, so it's like, what are those metrics?
of Finland, Helsinki, has been ranked the happiest and most livable city in the world. Now, Helsinki is one of the northernmost metropolitan areas. The whole city just has a great vibe to it. I mean, I would love to spend Christmas there. Now, if you want to venture out of Helsinki, you can take a ferry across the Baltic Sea to visit Tallinn, Estonia, or you can even head over to St. Petersburg, Russia. If you want to see some of Finland's nature, you can head up.
Can you go to Russia? I know that at one part, like, Finland was part of Russia, but I didn't know that you could, like, take a boat and just go to Russia.
North to visit Lapland.
These days.
Now, Lapland is Finland's northernmost region and it borders Russia, Sweden, and Norway. In the winter months, Lapland becomes a frozen wonderland.
My God.
Looks like something straight out of a Disney movie. Now, if you can handle the cold, Lapland may be one of the best places in the world to see the northern lights.
I can withstand the cold if this is like the payoff.
The northern lights are abundant throughout the cold winter months. It can get up to negative 50 degrees Celsius in the winters, so make sure you bundle
Okay, I take that back. Maybe I'll have to think about this.
up. One thing I love about Lapland is the snow-covered trees. They look like something out of a Dr. Seuss book. The capital of Lapland
It doesn't look real. Like, the trees look fake.
is the Arctic city of Rovaniemi. Now, located about 4 miles south of the Arctic Circle, Rovaniemi is the largest city in all of Europe by land area. It's considered to be the official hometown of Santa Claus. I can't think of a better place to visit during Christmas time. It's just such a cool remote city. Now, after Finland, we're going to head back to Norway to visit the capital of Oslo. Located on Norway's southern coast at the start of the Oslo Fjord, Oslo was founded at the end of the Viking Age during the 11th century. Today, Oslo is one of Europe's fastest growing cities. I love all the modern buildings and museums throughout the city.
Very modern.
Oslo Opera House is an impressive piece of architecture that
they love their opera houses over there.
resembles an iceberg. It was completed in 2007 and features slanted marble and granite slates that slide down to the water. After Oslo, we're going to head over to Liseboten to drive down Norway's craziest road. Now, Liseboten is a small village that's about a 6-hour drive from Oslo. Now, what I think is so scenic about Liseboten is the road that leads down to it. It consists of 27 hairpin turns that descend down the fjord to the village below. When you're at the bottom, you're going to be amazed by the surrounding walls of the fjord. If you're down for a hike, you can trek 12 kilometers to Gjerhabotn, which is famous for its rock wedge between two cliff walls. Looks a little sketch to me, but hey, I'd send it. After Liseboten,
I do not know if I would do that. I'd do the hike, but I don't know if I would go on that stone. Like, that's quite crazy and dangerous.
we're gonna head over to the nearby Pulpit Rock. Located in the same fjord as Liseboten, Pulpit Rock is a famous flat-top cliff with a straight drop of over 600 meters. To get there, you can park in the base camp and make the 6-kilometer hike. The rock can be super packed, so if you want to avoid the crowds, you can wake up super early and get to Pulpit Rock to enjoy the sunrise.
There's so many people!
I can't think of a better place to watch the sunrise. I just can't believe how big the cliff walls are. I mean, it just goes straight down to the fjord below.
It looks like someone sort of like, like they graded the stone. I don't know.
It's such a stunning place. Alright, so another hike to do in Norway is the trek to Trolltunga. Now, Trolltunga is possibly the most iconic rock formation in Norway as it shoots out over 2,000 feet from the lake below. Trolltunga is definitely the hardest hike of the three. It's a 28-kilometer round-trip trek that takes anywhere from 8 to 12 hours to do, so make sure you give yourself plenty of time. You can start the hike at the main trailhead.
Not that steep. I was expecting like 2 days.
And hike in 14 kilometers in to reach the famous Trolltunga Rock. If you go between June 1st and September 30th, you don't need a tour guide, but if you go in the winter months, you definitely need one because it is a little sketch. While it is a strenuous hike, it offers
Okay, I would be like, am I getting lost there?
some of the best views in Norway. From Trolltunga, we're going to make the 7-hour journey to the magical town of Bergen. Located on Norway's southwest coast and surrounded by mountains and fjords, Bergen is one of Norway's most charming cities. Bergen was founded back in the 11th century. Thanks to its maritime trade domination, Bergen was the largest city in Norway until the 1830s. Today, it's famous for its colorful wooden houses on the old wharf. If you're in the city, you can hike to the Floyen mountain to get amazing panoramic views of the city. After Bergen, we're going to take a drive on one of Norway's most famous routes, the Atlantic Ocean Road. This 8.3 kilometer road runs across an archipelago of islands as it connects the islands of Averøy to the Romsdal Peninsula. The Atlantic Ocean Road was completed in 1989 and cost 122 million Norwegian krone to make. It's made up of 8 bridges and 4 resting places. The route is an impressive feat of engineering and it won the Norwegian Construction of the Century Award.
I can see why.
If you decide to go on a Norway road trip, you have to take a drive on the Atlantic Ocean Road.
Absolutely.
While we're still on the topic of roads, if you drive just 2 hours south, you'll reach another one of Norway's most famous routes, Trollstigen.
The Troll's Path?
Trollstigen, or the Troll's Path, is a serpentine road that makes over 11 hairpin turns as it descends on a 10% decline.
What's up with all the hairpin turns and crazy roads over there?
Into the valley below. Trollstigen has 2 powerful waterfalls that pass through the road. The Stigfossen waterfall has a total height of 240 meters. I mean, that's just freaking huge. Another really cool place in the area is Trollvängen, or the Troll's Wall.
I love that everything's like the Troll something, the Troll Road, the Troll Wall.
It's Europe's tallest vertical overhanging rock face at about 3,600 feet high. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Alright, after Trollstigen, you can make the 2-hour drive south to visit the Geiranger Fjord. Now, Geiranger Fjord is one of Norway's most popular destinations. The fjord is over 260 meters deep and it's surrounded by massive mountains that are over 1,600 meters high. There are many viewpoints to get the best perspective of the fjord. One of the most spectacular features
the other had like a waterfall
of Geiranger Fjord is the Seven Sisters waterfall. The waterfall consists of 7 separate streams that descend 410 meters to the water below. The best way to see the fjord is by boat. You can take a cruise ship or a 1-hour ferry of Geiranger to Helisilt for about $35. This is by far the best way to witness the waterfalls and majesty of the fjord. Another amazing nearby destination is Lovatnet. The lake is about a 2-hour drive from Geiranger. Now, Lovatnet is home to some of the most beautiful lake water. It has a unique turquoise hue with incredible backdrop of the mountains. While Lovatnet is stunningly beautiful, the area has had its fair share of tragedies over the last few centuries. In 1905, a massive rock from the Rumnefjell mountain came loose and fell 500 meters where it hit the water, and it caused a 40-meter tidal wave that wiped out a small village completely off the map and killed many others. Despite the tragic history, Lovatnet is a place you gotta visit. It's hard to beat the beauty of this Norwegian lake.
I'd be scared of that happening again if I'm there.
In Lovatnet, we're going to make the 3-hour drive to Alisund. Alisund is one of Norway's most prominent fishing towns, built on a uniquely shaped archipelago. Similar to Bergen, it's home to beautifully colored buildings perched right up against the ocean. To get one of the best views of the city, you can go to the By Rampen viewpoint or Mount Axla lookouts. Both will give you incredible panoramic views of the fjords and archipelago. If you go to Alisund during the winter months, you might get lucky and witness the stunning Aurora Borealis as it dances across the Norwegian sky. Well, that is it from my Nordics Top 25. Let me know where your favorite place in the Nordics is in the comments below. I also started a relaxation channel where I post hour-long films with calm music to bring some peace and nature in your life. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.
This was gorgeous. Like, I want to go right now. I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, they have like there was like such an incredible compilation of like so many incredible places that I'd be like, if I'm planning a trip to Scandinavia and to the Nordic, I would have such a hard time deciding like where exactly. do I have to go? Because obviously, like, yes, the dream would be to just like spend, I don't know, 3 months exploring this. But, realistically, I don't think that's the reality for a lot of people. So you have to really do sort of like narrow it down and be like, okay, like, what are the places that I absolutely must see, that I really do like it's in my bucket list. I think, like, for me personally, I think the Northern Lights, of course, I already mentioned it. For me, like, a trip, like, if I go to the Nordics and I don't really see the Northern Lights, I'd be not just like super disappointed. I'd be like, no, I don't think anything can like top this. So I would be like, that's my number one thing. If I'm not seeing like the Northern Lights, I would be like, I have to go back, because it's like it would be like I didn't actually like went there. To me personally, that's so important to me. Like, there, of course, is like, it's a thing that I don't think, like, well, not that the other places are not like this, but it's just like the only place in the world that you can actually like get to see this. So because it's such a like an important thing, and it's just like for typical, like, you can only get that like in this specific place, which I know that you can make the case for like a lot of places in the world, which is like, well, yes, I don't know, like the Egypt, like you can see like the pyramids like any other place. You have to go to Egypt. Yes, like you can make the case for that. But I think the Northern Lights are just like very special. I think they just like, it's like magic. I know obviously it's science, but I think it's just because it's not man-made. Probably that's, I think, what's like so shocking to me. It's just like because it's a phenomena, and you can't actually, like, there's no humans involved, like nobody built this. It's just like one just like with the wonders of science and the world. So I think like that would be like the number one spot for me. Although there's like different places from what I could see that you could actually like get to see the Northern Lights. Although I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like in one of those places, I think it was like I think it was Norway. Like, it would be like, well, if you're lucky during the winter, you might like see them. I'll be like, no, I have to, like, someone has to like guarantee me that I'm gonna be able to watch the Northern Lights, so I can plan my trip around this. The other places, of course, I would love to go, but I think the Northern Lights are like very special. I think maybe, like, I don't think maybe you can like get to see like so many things, especially like if that's your point about the Northern Lights. Maybe you have to you have to plan like 2 trips, because in one you would get to see the Northern Lights in one specific place, and maybe like you would get to see other cities and other places. But then on the second sort of like trip, it would be like no Northern Lights, but I would go to see all the other countries and all the other locations, because I think it would be easier to plan. Especially because I think like they occur during different seasons. Because he mentioned the winter, but there are places like he didn't look that cold. No, that he didn't look like it looked cold, but not like super cold when he was like on top of the mountain and he watched like the Northern Lights. So I don't know. I think maybe that would be the case. So it's like during the winter, maybe, but not really. You really do have to make your research. Just like I don't want to lose this trip. But besides the Northern Lights, which I think were incredible, I do have to say, like, the Finland, and like it was like the Christmas, it was like when where Santa lives or something. Not specifically like the Santa thing, because obviously that's like, okay, that's just like advertising. But the whole place looks so magical. Everything is like literally like snow covered. All the trees, everything looks straight out of like, I don't know, like it doesn't look, all the reindeers, like it looks like when you imagine sort of like a Christmas, sort of, not even Christmas, it's just like when you imagine winter personified, like this is what you're thinking. It's like so much like all the snow covered trees that don't look real. They look like, I don't know, plastic, or they look like you dipped like something in, I don't know, in like on icing. Like it looks like that, but it's like it's real. And they also have like the little Christmas tree, and you have the reindeers, and you can go, oh my god, I'd be so like, no, I have to go there. That would be like my number 2 spot, I think, is Lapland. And I would definitely like, that would be so high up on my list that I'm like, no, I need to go there, because it's just like so incredibly beautiful. The others, I think, like all the waterfalls, all the hiking, I love hiking, which I like. It's good. All of them, like, they don't look like that steep, although he mentioned like it is hard, because it is like a very high, it's a very long high, like distances are hard. And I don't know under like which conditions, because obviously like if it's during the winter, like you're gonna be cold, so it's a whole thing. However, like I think some of them are maybe a little bit easier. I don't know. I wouldn't just go without like doing your research, but I think some of them look quite manageable, and I think you can definitely, like, it's worth the hike, and you don't need to be an expert to actually like do them. but they are perfect. I think my favorite one was the one that he just spent the whole night like by himself. The views I think were like unbeatable, although it's insane to me that he didn't plan for this and he just like put a little blanket. No, that's crazy. Please, prepare yourself. Like that to me, it's kind of crazy. The other thing that I would love to go, I think it was the Atlantic Road. It looked like so incredibly like beautiful, and it's just like it's quite short, right? I think how long would it take you like to the whole thing? Like maybe a couple of hours. I think I would definitely do that. It's just, although I don't know, like, can you go like, I'm taking this road, but there's like no attractions like in the middle. Although there are stops. Obviously, you want to stop and you want to like take pictures. But I don't know if there are actual like spots like you can actually like, I don't know. It's not like I'm gonna go hiking. So it's like, no, I'm stopping my car and I'm like taking a picture, taking in all the view, and then I'm continuing on my path. I don't know what's on the other side of the road, but you're probably gonna find something to do because I hardly doubt that you're gonna be bored. But I think I would love it there because just the road, like it looks very pretty. And the ocean as well, like that looked incredible. The fjords, of course, like I think that's a must. The whole, like where the water was so incredibly turquoise, and it looked like milky and turquoise. I don't know how to explain it, but it looked beautiful. I think I would definitely want to go there as well. And all the other like the Trolls Road, I think that would be very funny. Yes, it's kind of crazy the whole place itself, but I think the roads themselves are they're very weird, sort of like looking, just because you get the whole. It's not. I don't know if it's because you're looking at them from above, but because it's using a drone. I don't know if when you're like driving them. Well, yes, of course. You're driving. You have to go like this, but it's kind of like I don't know how enjoyable it would be to actually be driving in that place, because it's like, oh my god, this is this is hard. It's not. It's not like an scenic. Well, it is very scenic, but it's not like an easy road of like and just like let loose and just enjoy your driving. It would be a little bit like, wow, you have to really do pay attention. So it is a little bit like, but even then, I would love to visit one of those like roads. They have two actually. I think there were two or three. I would go visit one at least because I want to see like how hard the actual road is to drive. But I'm like, yes, I'm thinking like the touristy thing. And the other thing that I'm actually super impressed about is the one that it was like the stone mountain that it just looked like a square. That looked crazy. Just because it didn't really. I'm gonna assume that it was human. It wasn't human made. It was just sort of like nature decided that the water, the whole mountain and the stone was gonna erode in that particular shape. It's crazy, absolutely insane to think of something like this existing on the wild. Like in the wild, like you can find this. But I'm actually so shocked about the amount of people that visited this. I know, crazy to me to think of like, oh, there are no tourists. Of course, do you think you're just gonna be there and there's not gonna be anyone? But no, of course not. But I wasn't expecting all that many people. It would look like 100 people or something. This is like, wow, there's really like a very popular place and a popular spot. I can see why. But if I ever find myself there, yes, I would definitely do the whole like planning of like go very, very early. So you can also like watch the sunset and also avoid crowds, because when I told you like it is very crowded. It can get pretty like there's a lot. It's very popular. He wasn't lying. No, seriously, there's like so many people. But you can make the case for like all vacations and all trips. Do your research and really do plan ahead, and you can have like the best time ever. And yes, great advice, and everyone should follow this. But that was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.